Welcome to Escape This Podcast, a show that's a mix between tabletop role-playing and escape room puzzles. We are in our guest game master block of season 15, and every episode, Danny and I are playing through an audio escape room created by someone else for these first 5 episodes.
At the start, where we started recording these guest episodes, I was saying, oh, great, this is so that I can take time to just write the next few rooms, and it's going to be a bit less effort on my part. Do you think that's true? There's something that's just a bit extra energy about being a player.
I will say, the recordings as a player are more energy-consuming than the recordings as a host. And you should experience my recordings as guy in the background who's not really doing anything. Now that's a relaxing recording. This episode, we have a returning game master. You may remember him from Night at the Observatory, which we played
Very good room.
a year ago or something like that. Had a lot of fun with it, and he's back with a new room. Welcome, Matt Johnson. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me back on your show.
We're really excited to have you back. We really enjoyed playing through Night at the Museum. I'm going to call it Night at the Museum every single time. Every time, it's just going to...
That's just
my
what
brain
comes off
goes
the
on
tongue.
autopilot. I'm done. We really observed Night at the Observatory. Did I say we observed it? We enjoyed Night at the Observatory. I've got there eventually. And we're really excited to play the new room that you have brought in. Is there, do you want to tease the audience with a quick little
Does it
a
have
title,
a title or anything?
They've probably already read it in the thing, but is there a theme or something interesting before we get into the questions?
Basically, I have a blank page right now. I need to write something down before we get started.
Yeah, true. Got to put a title at the top.
Yeah, so this one is titled Break This Game. You will be a playtester of a virtual reality game.
Ooh, fun. This is an escape room podcast. So, Matt, since you've last been on, are there any updates to your escape room experience?
Not any physical rooms, but in the theme of video games, I have played a few escape room themed games,
Nice.
including things like Agent A, Escape Academy, Escape Simulator,
Lovely.
and a few other puzzle games, including Talos Principle 2, Taji, Patrick's Parabox.
Oh, I can see why you stumbled over Patrick's Parabox. That's trying to Night at the Museum you. It's trying to get you into a mode of talking and then change it up right at the end. There's a lot of fun stuff out there. Danny and I streamed Escape Academy, played through the whole base game, and we had Wyatt, the creator, come on and do an episode with us. It's a really fun game, and it's really interesting to play that and Escape Simulator sort of back to back because they're trying to capture two different
they're very different
feelings of
feels.
an escape room, but that are both incredibly accurate, but different. And it's a very fun game. There's some really nice stuff out there. Did you have a favorite of all the ones you've listed?
I think the Talos Principle 2, I really enjoyed the first one, and so a lot of just really neat puzzles and interesting story that went along with that. But yeah, each of them, Escape Simulator obviously has a wide variety that both the official puzzles as well as the whole workshop, and so yeah, there's a whole variety of themes and puzzles that you can get from the community.
Yeah, the community-driven side of Escape Simulator is
It's
a
fun.
lot of fun. Obviously, we like community-driven puzzle development. That's why we're hosting all these guest game master games. Well, that is lovely. The other element of this show is that it's escape rooms in a sort of tabletop role-playing style. Do you have any updates to your tabletop role-playing experience since last you were on?
Not a whole lot, mostly just doing different board games and play tests of my previous room and this room.
Fantastic. I think with that all covered, we're good to get going.
I think so.
All right. Matt, I think without
what we're
any
in for.
further ado, please whisk us away. Let's play a game.
Yeah, so for this room, you will be merging into one character narratively.
That was the sound.
Oh, that wasn't just your disgust at the concept?
I'm disgusted by the sound.
Right.
All right. One evening, while mindlessly scrolling through social media, an ad pops up that catches your attention. It's from an indie game studio in town looking for playtesters for their upcoming virtual reality game. You've always enjoyed video games, especially immersive VR ones, and the advertised pay is an added incentive. So you look into it and decide to apply. A few messages later, you're set up to play test their game later that week. When you arrive at their office after filling out some legal paperwork, they lead you to an empty room and hand you a VR headset and a pair of VR gloves. They explain that you will need to play all 3 of the game's levels before you can leave with your pay. You inquire for more details about the game, which they casually dismiss, assuring you that they will be monitoring your progress remotely. As they leave and close the door, one developer nervously warns you that the game is an early prototype, so you should try and work around any bugs or crashes you encounter, but they look forward to debriefing with you when you are done. So you find yourself in a small, square, empty room. Besides the exit door, the only things you see are various symbols on each wall that remind you of QR code fragments, and you are currently holding the VR headset and a pair of VR gloves. You are free to explore.
So we're not in the actual game yet. This isn't a small virtual room. We're in a small physical room.
Correct.
Okay. So we've got the door we came in, and we've got symbols on all 4 walls?
Correct.
Do you want to have a look at what these symbols are?
I suppose might as well.
Start from the west wall and go clockwise, or whatever. If they're written any easier, I don't mind, but let's look at all the symbols.
All right, here is your first image.
Ooh, an image.
So it is a panoramic image. It shows all 4 of the walls, including the door.
Okay.
All right, so what we are seeing here is various space invaders.
Yeah, so it's 4 walls. Let's say if the door was in the south wall, we're starting with the east wall.
Sure.
And we've got 5 little sort of stickers. They do look like QR code fragments is a great way to describe them. They are series of white shapes made out of little white boxes on a black background. Honestly, hard to describe them. A little guy, an elf's shoe with a buckle, a Tetris piece that got too big for its britches, a ghost from Pac-Man.
Yeah, we're kind of Rorschaching ourselves
Someone
here.
firing a catapult. Lots of little things like that. That's just on the east wall.
And Among Us with a Santa hat.
Every wall has 5 of these little stickers, including the one with the door, which has one of them attached to the door itself. Can I do something really silly?
Sure.
Can I open the door and see if when it opens, there's a different symbol behind it on the far wall of the room beyond?
You go over to the door, and you're surprised they have actually locked it.
All right.
You try and open it, and you hear someone outside say, "Sorry, you have to play all 3 levels of the game before you can leave, per the contract you signed. Check back with us when you're done."
All right. Okay, well, these mean nothing to me so far.
No, we've got 5 by 4, lots of little weird symbols. I think we need to just play.
Yeah, that's true. There's also orange lights, or maybe the same light replicated over and over again based on the way we're looking at this
Interesting.
room above us. But you are correct. There's nothing that interesting. I'm assuming that if we look at these headset and gloves before we put them on, there's nothing that interesting.
Which would you like to interact with
something
first?
That interesting.
Oh, man.
Let's have a look at the gloves. We've got to put the gloves on first anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so you look at the gloves. They are helpfully labeled with L and R for left and right hands.
Lovely.
You notice on the outside of each glove, near the base of each finger, is a round, empty battery slot.
Empty? That's weird.
Yeah, that is a bit odd. I think we need batteries.
One would assume. But maybe we don't. What do we know?
I suppose. We could knock on the door and ask for batteries, see if they give us any. We're just testing the waters of how we can interact in this escape room. I knock on the door and I say, "Batteries, please."
There is no response from outside the door anymore.
That's cool.
Okay, we've got to solve our own problems. So they don't have batteries.
All right.
And what about the headset? Yeah.
Yeah, so I will send you your next image.
Whoa.
Okay. So it's a headset. Looks like a classic VR headset. But it's just looks like I can see a big motherboard, like a big circuit board. Is that on the inside that I'm looking at?
I don't think so.
Or the outside?
The face panel of the headset appears to be missing, and so you can see the internals of it. including a chip labeled simulation debugger with a couple lights on it, and there's a large 8x8 socket, in addition to a whole bunch of microchips, few cameras, and different screws.
There are different screws.
I do notice, and the order of these screws on the left and the right is different.
Yeah, like there's a big screw at the top and then 4 smaller screws below in a vertical line. Where on the left, it's like, it's like a Phillips head, but I'll just call
Either
it
a times or a plus.
like a plus. Well, yeah, Phillips head, then flat, then Phillips and Phillips. So like plus and then minus, plus, plus. But they're all arranged at different angles as well.
Sure.
And on the right, it is flat, Phillips, Phillips, minus, plus, plus. I don't know what to do about those.
No, this is already just one of those images that is now so techy that it scares me a little bit into not knowing what I'm going to have to do with it.
Now is it possible for us to use this like a VR set in its current state?
Yeah,
Can we put it on our face and turn it on?
Does it feel like we can still turn this on? It does have eye holes.
It does have eye holes.
Yeah, so you put the headset on, fits comfortably. It actually automatically turns on when you put it on.
Nice.
However, the only thing that you see on screen is an icon of gloves with a blinking question mark.
We put our gloves on as well. Maybe they're powered by human ingenuity rather than batteries.
You start to put on the gloves and you feel something inside.
Ooh.
In one glove, you find 2 small jumper wires, one black, one white. In the other glove, you find a pack of 10 coin cell batteries, each about the size of a dime, with positive and negative terminals etched on each side. But after emptying the gloves, they fit comfortably.
All right. Well, those are batteries. That feels like a good idea.
There were 10 batteries, and we got little cables, and we have...
Do we need little cables?
No, probably not. Do these batteries fit into our gloves?
They do appear to fit into the gloves.
We power up those little babies.
Hopefully.
You stick all of the batteries in, and nothing appears to happen. You try flipping each battery over, it seems to fit either polarity, and still nothing happens.
All right. Well, these are like potentially pluses and minuses on the headset with these screws.
And okay, I have a question for you. Would a big one be a thumb?
A big one's totally a thumb.
A thumb is both the biggest and the smallest finger. Okay.
Fat thumb.
And look, with the labeled right and left
exactly,
as well,
the
R and the L. The headset has the R and the L. So on the right glove, if we're flipping these to be either positive or negative, could we make them positive, negative, negative, positive, positive from the thumb
whichever
onwards?
Side is sticking out. How do
I think I'd like to
work?
see it, the positive side.
You do that on the right glove, and you see a power LED turn on.
Right.
Nice. On the left, it is negative, positive, negative, positive, positive. The screws indicate which batteries how to set the batteries.
And that glove powers on as well.
Amazing.
Nice. Then I punch through the wall with my power gloves. Okay, headset on. Let's get cracking.
These wires for?
We'll find out.
You stick the headset on, and the game begins to boot up. After a few moments, you find yourself immersed in a menu lobby room. The headset and gloves track your orientation, movement, and hand gestures. This virtual game room looks like the interior of a futuristic Mars colony. There are items of interest on each virtual wall. There's a teleporter, a full-length mirror, a shelf of objects, and a trophy case. And near the trophies, there is a tiny scoreboard that has been discarded on the ground.
Can I just say, for everybody playing at home, VR's cool. Like, it's easy to be a cynic about things, and it's easy to look at, like, the fact that the best, one of the premier VR companies got bought out by Facebook, and that's a whole thing or whatever, but it's still cool. Mm-hmm. It's still cool. It gets me every time.
We are finally at a stage technologically where it's actually cool and not just, maybe it'll be cool in 20 years.
Yeah, like you put on an Oculus, one that doesn't have the wires, doesn't connect to anything, it's just easy, and you just suddenly like, every time I'm so easily whisked away. I just put on like, well, here I am in a different world. I'm living on this, like, it's cool. I don't know what to tell you. It's really engaging and really fun. And it hurts your head sometimes.
That's what I was going to say. We should try to get through this snappily because I know me, and I know that after too long in VR, I do get a bit of a headache.
That is true. That is true. Let's have a look. Let's start looking at these things. Why not just look at them in the order described?
Sounds good. So teleporter first. Maybe it needs wires.
Yeah, let's have a look. I don't know if we can use physical wires in the virtual space, but let's have a look at the teleporter.
You're right.
The teleporter has a screen that shows various loadable save games. There is also a button to import saved games from a different user profile. Currently, the only available save game is labeled Level 1.
Okay. Well, that looks like maybe that'll get us into the game when we need it.
Fair enough.
But let's not do that yet. Let's keep
Exactly.
walking
We're
around our
breaking this
virtual
thing.
Mars base.
We've got to look at everything. Mirror?
Yeah, let's look at ourselves in a mirror. Set our avatar.
How grotesque are we?
So there's a tall mirror in which you can see your avatar, looking kind of like a space marine wearing shiny green armor. The mirror has a color wheel to customize the armor color and a panel to manage your skill points.
Ooh, I've got skill points. Do I have any skill points to assign?
Yeah, so the skill points show your attack and defense levels. They are both at level 1. There's a plus and minus button next to each one to reassign skill points, and it shows that you have 3 unallocated skill points.
Well, I don't know what we want with that so far.
Attack 4, defense 1.
Perfect.
All right, so you go level 4 attack, which gives you 4 damage per second, and
Nice.
level 1 defense, which is 10% damage resistance.
Perfect.
You can keep track of the stats.
Okay. Also, can we change our color to purple?
So the available color options are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet.
It's a real rainbow. Before Newton got his hands on it and
Mhm.
added a second purple.
Not the first time this has come up
Oh yeah.
this season.
Okay. Well, we'll go violet.
We're really anti-Newton this year.
Yeah. Get out of here, Newton. No one likes anything. And gravity's not real, and calculus is for babies. I don't know. Newton's pretty cool. He was a pretty good guy.
Yeah,
At
we don't know
maths.
that.
At maths.
Sure.
At maths. Everybody, just at maths. I don't know what he did with his time.
I think he stared at eclipses and poked needles in his eyes.
Yeah. He's a weird guy. Okay, so we got Roy G. Biv. We can set ourselves to anything. We'll set ourselves to violet very quickly.
All right, you tap the violet color and your armor changes to violet.
Wonderful.
Lovely.
Okay, great. So we check out that shelf.
Shelf of items.
Shelf of items.
On this shelf, you see a variety of items. Only 2 appear to be interactable. There is a stereo system and a globe.
Okay. Put on some music.
So the stereo system has 3 volume sliders. There are icons from left to right indicating control of ambient music, character voices, and sound effects, respectively. And each of these sliders has a range from 0 muted to 10 max. They are currently at level 5.
Cool. So they can go 1 to 10. They're all currently set on 5.
Yeah, cool. Is this an Earth globe or a Mars globe?
Ooh, Mars globe.
It is a globe of Earth showing all the major countries. You look at around and you see that there is a large pushpin currently sticking in China. And at the base of the globe, there is a line of text that is in a foreign language.
I love foreign languages. Which one?
You're not an expert on other languages, but you think it's might be Chinese.
All right.
There's a pin in China.
Oh,
Pin
no.
in. That's nothing. Because then it wouldn't look Chinese. It would be using English letters, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't feel like there's anything.
What's everyone's favorite Chinese romanization? No. Okay.
Yen, apparently, as we just found out.
Oh, that's true.
Not
Shall we
the
keep-
currency.
No,
The
yeah.
verb.
Yen for yearning, I thought was a much nicer origin than it was. Because if you yen, you yearn. I thought it was just a weird shortening or like a Scots version of the word yearn. It's not. It's it's an opium word.
Apparently, it meant you were craving opium.
It specifically came into English as a craving for opium, from the Chinese. Very not quite the same as yen, but it was like yen, which was like to crave opium. And they went, great, nice. Let's talk about it in English with all our opium dens and opium wars. So yeah, bit wild. I thought yen was much simpler.
Keep looking. Trophy cabinet.
Trophy case it is.
You wander over to the trophy case. It is open and it contains 3 golden trophies. However, only the bases of them are visible. The cups of the trophies are sort of a ghostly hologram. And at the base of each trophy, you see a line of text. However, you can't read the text because that is also in presumably Chinese.
Okay. Gotta speak some Chinese.
Or we've got to fix their language programming. Tell them they've got a problem with
I
that.
think we should learn Chinese.
I mean, I prefer that way, but
Okay,
I don't
3
know
trophies,
what these people want.
3 trophies for 3 games that we have yet to play. We'll get to them in 1 second. Let's have a quick look at the scoreboard, and then we should jump to level 1.
Agree.
But what's on the scoreboard?
I will send you your next image.
For people at home, you can see all these images, by the way, in the show notes below. So feel free to follow along as we go. But yes, Matt, what were you going to say about the scoreboard?
Yeah, so this scoreboard is about the size of a name tag, and it shows the top 3 scores.
Okay, so these are all written on 7-segment displays, like a digital clock. There is a gold star, a silver star.
I don't know if it's just my angle, but it's got a slight bit of that VR mess with your vision to look at it.
It does a little. We've got a gold star, a silver star, and a bronze star. The gold star currently reads 53880.4 as a score. The fact that we can
Decimal
get
point scoring.
decimal point scoring, that's too precise. The silver is at 5177.3, and the bronze is at 771.8.
Great.
I don't know what to do about these.
I noticed something.
That upside down it says Bill,
Yes.
Ellis. So sorry, if we flip the whole image upside down, which I've not done, but I'm doing it with the miracle of my own brain.
Your Fantasia.
I'm doing it with a miracle of Fantasia. If we flipped it upside down, the bronze would read Bill, the silver would read Ellis, and the gold would read Hobbs.
Now, do you think that this is 3 separate people or 1 person?
Bill Ellis Hobbs.
Could be.
Maybe. We'll find out. But there we have Bill Ellis Hobbs. So we solved that puzzle. Now, when someone asks us for a name, we'll know what names to say. Shall we go check out level 1?
Okay, let's go to the teleporter and press on that level 1 save.
All right, you press on level 1 and the screen fades to black, and after a few moments, the first level loads. You find yourself on the outside of the Martian base. You are currently wearing a suit of violet armor and equipped with a matching laser rifle that fires violet lasers. A message pops up indicating that your goal is to defend your home base against a wave of oncoming aliens.
Probably should have set our defense higher.
The screen shows 2 full health bars, one for the base and one for your health. There are very shiny green aliens that look like bugs that start to approach on the horizon, with new groups spawning about every minute.
Oh no.
The aliens steadily march towards the base and start firing red lasers at the closest target, either you or the base. You do notice the game's frame rate drops slightly when there are more enemies on screen. How do you want to deal with these aliens?
I think we want to, well, we're trying to break it. We should frame rate this baby up and fire just everywhere and run around at the same time.
Are we trying to break it? I suppose we are testing it for quality.
The name of the game.
Yeah, but we don't know that in universe. Okay, let's test it. Let's see what we can get onto the screen. We're testing a game. Let's do it appropriately. Let's fire our laser a million, like as fast as we can, directly upwards.
Yeah, not even at the aliens.
Just trying to keep as many instances of laser fire in the game at once and see if we can mess with it.
It seems like the lasers aren't slowing down the game too much. It's more of the aliens that are on screen. You fire lasers kind of in all directions, and some of them hit the aliens, some not. However, after battling for a little while, you end up actually dying, and you get greeted with the game over screen, and you're booted back to the main menu. Oddly enough, despite losing the level, you do notice that level 2 has now unlocked.
Oh, weird.
Intriguing.
I have a thought,
Mhm.
just quickly.
Okay.
If getting more aliens on screen was messing with it,
Yeah.
what if we go to our character?
Uh-huh.
Also, there's so much like we're violet and shoot violet. They're green and shoot red, and I wonder if there's a way to mess with the colors. I don't know. Let's set ourselves to red just in case red lasers won't hurt us.
Okay.
But let's put our attack to 0 and our defense to 5. so that we can last longer
To see how many
to
aliens
see
we
how
can get
many
on screen.
aliens we can get on screen without killing a single alien.
Yeah, that's fair. This is how you playtest, I
Yeah,
assume.
let's do that. Let's see if we can get every alien up. 5 defense, no attack,
Let's try this again.
red armor.
All right, so you select red armor, you go to level 0, no attack, and level 5 defense. And with that, you try to fire at the aliens, and you are seeing that you are doing absolutely no damage
Nice.
whatsoever.
Oh, no.
But the aliens are also not damaging you. All of their red lasers are bouncing off your red armor. And
Sucker
as a
aliens.
result, though, some of the lasers do still hit the base, and after a while, the base still gets destroyed, and you're greeted once again with the game over screen.
Oh, man. I don't know how to up the base's defense.
Can we change our base to red color? Can we see our base isn't red right now, is it?
It is just a gray color.
Oh, well. We can worry about that later. Maybe we should go to level 2 and see what we see.
Okay, we'll go to level 2 and see what we see.
So you load up level 2, and once again you find yourself on the surface of Mars, this time atop of a giant anthill, the entrance to the alien's base. In the distance behind you see the base that you were defending. Your suit projects a holographic map of the alien base, with you at the entrance, followed by a maze of tunnels and a final chamber with an objective marker. You memorize it to see what potential routes you can take before dismissing the map. Then the ground shakes and you find yourself tumbling into the Martian tunnels below. There are various branches through this maze, and there's just enough light to navigate around, but you notice there are guards patrolling everywhere. There's a lot of echoey acoustics in these rock tunnels that make it a little disorienting to navigate, and each tunnel looks practically identical. How do you want to proceed?
I mean, how well do we remember our own, the map? Can we rely on our memory? And presumably not, but start to move forward? We didn't change our attack back up, so we can't kill any of the guards.
No. Not that we want to. I'd rather just... Ooh. Ugh.
What are you thinking?
That we need to adjust the sound if the acoustics in here are a bit
You're
weird.
right. Okay, let's run up to an ant guard and get killed.
All right, so you try and fire at the guards, and they quickly are alerted, and alarms trigger. There's a force field that materializes around you, and an alien guard rushes to your position. He speaks into some sort of universal translator, taunting you in some sort of language that you can't make sense
I want
of.
his universal translator.
And then he hits a button and electrifies the force field. Your avatar is killed, and you are greeted with another game over screen.
Nice.
And like before, you're booted back to the main menu, but you do see that level 3 has unlocked.
Before we try and solve for level 2, do you want to check out level 3?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let's look at everything.
All right, you load up level 3. This time you find yourself in an underground rocky layer, lit by several glowing stalagmites on the ground, and similarly, the ceiling is completely filled with stalactites above you. A giant stone door that you presumably entered in from the previous level slams shut and locks behind you as a large alien queen wakes up to face you. 2 full health bars, one for you and one for the boss, display, next to a level timer that's counting up. The queen starts jumping around erratically, throwing grenades around the room. After several seconds rolling around, you see that the grenades will explode violently, and you quickly discover that if you're close to these explosions, they hurt you just slightly, but they knock you back into the air and across the room with tremendous force. But they're fairly easy to avoid if you stay focused.
Okay.
All right. Our weapon is still at 0, isn't it?
Yeah, we still can't kill the queen. We have grenades. There's a timer that's counting up. Alien queen has to help. What happens if we try and... Can we grab a grenade and throw it back at the queen?
Yeah, so you grab a grenade before it explodes. It seems to extend the timer slightly, and you throw it back at the queen. It actually does damage the queen. Not a whole lot, but if you keep doing this for a little while, you can probably defeat the queen.
Do you want to defeat the queen to see what happens?
All right. Feels like it's going to be slow, but...
Yeah, let's defeat the queen.
Give it our best go. See if we can...
Right.
Do they blow her a little bit up into the air when they hit her?
Oh,
She
Sure.
seems pretty stable on the ground, not
Yeah. Can
we-
too movable,
can we
but
throw it
yeah,
at the
you
stalactites
repeatedly.
above her? And drop them on her? Crush her with the rocks from her own cavern?
That does feel more efficient.
You want to throw a few up there?
Yeah. Let's hit a stalactite.
You throw some grenades up at the stalactites, and oddly enough, they pass directly through the ceiling above
Oh,
you
man.
and
Oh,
don't
rude.
even explode.
We throw them at the stalagmites.
That's worth knowing.
They also pass directly through these stalagmites. They do bounce off the walls, though.
Can we stand on a grenade and jump as it goes off and try and get through the ceiling ourselves?
Oh, boy.
TF2
Slip,
rocket
clip,
jump
clip.
style?
Sure, you carefully grab a grenade, and right as it's about to explode, you kind of throw it on the ground and you jump simultaneously. The explosion nearly kills you, but propels you at an angle through the stalactites above into a void above the level's geometry and past the walls of the arena. You start falling into an infinite void below for what seems like minutes, and the arena reduces to a couple pixels in the distance above. After a minute, the game suddenly freezes with the message, touch subsystem error, invalid coordinates on player entity, dumping system state to autosave file. And
Ooh.
after a few seconds, it says, sorry, debugging is only allowed with a subsystem specific crash recovery tool installed and a valid hardware debugger connected. And then the headset reboots and you find yourself back in the main menu.
Interesting.
Oh, weird. I don't know what that means for us.
I mean, something in the real world needs to be changed.
Yeah,
Maybe
what did we
this is
need
what those wires are for.
Need
Incidentally, falling for minutes into a void in VR sounds like a nightmare.
It does. We need valid system of something. That's all right. We can I'm sure we'll recognize it if we find it.
Hmm.
So it feels like we know how to break that part of it, but we can't take advantage of the breaking yet.
Mm.
Do you want to go back? We think we know how to do level 2.
Well, I think we know something
We know
that might help
we know
with
one
level
key.
2.
Have you thought at all? How do you think we can protect our own base?
I don't know yet.
Is there any way to change the color of the base from where we're at now in the avatar section, or is there a settings menu? We can be like, base color, please set to red.
The colors seem to only impact your armor and corresponding laser rifle.
What do you think happens if we shoot our own base with a red laser? Do you think it turns red?
I think it
Be
might.
a bit wild, right?
Yeah, a little.
Hmm.
So getting through this maze where the noise was a bit weird.
Yeah.
What do you think we should adjust our sound settings to help deal with that?
Maybe you get rid of ambient and effects and keep the voices high?
Interesting. Were voices what we were hearing
No,
much
I
of?
don't know.
I assumed it was like their footsteps and things that we'd want to pay attention to.
Maybe get rid of ambient and voice and crank up the effects?
Yeah, let's try that.
Let's do that. Let's get rid of ambience. Let's get rid of the voices. Let's crank up the effects.
No music.
And jump into Ant Town.
All right, so you load up level 2 with those settings, and this time you start to navigate, and it is a lot easier to navigate. However, you do notice when the level loads that the maze and presumably guard positions are randomized each time, so you can't
rude.
just memorize the guard patrol routes. But you start navigating around, and this time it's a lot easier to navigate around without all of this echoey acoustics.
Mm-hmm.
However, you happen to get close to a guard, and he hears you from quite the distance away, and so he spots you, and the alarms trigger, and the force field materializes around you. Once again, he speaks to you through this universal translator and executes you. You're back to a game over screen,
Okay.
and you're back to the main menu.
Sounds like maybe he could hear our effects.
Fair enough.
I have another thought.
Okay.
When it comes to like the first one, if we don't think about breaking it, and think instead about maybe winning it,
Mm-hmm.
can I set my armor to red, thereby not taking any damage from their red lasers, and then crank my attack to 5? Because I don't need any defense anymore. I've got red armor. And then I can kill every alien I see.
If that's
And maybe
how
we can
this
just
works.
win the game.
Because now your lasers are red as well.
Yeah, but they're green.
Oh, they were green.
The fools. They shoot the same lasers. They shoot different lasers than themselves.
Interesting.
So, can I do that? Can I send myself to red, but crank my attack and lower my defense because I don't need it anymore because I'm red?
Sure, you select red and 5 attack and no defense. And you wanted to try which level?
Level 1, and I'm going to mess up all the aliens. I'm going to shoot them before they've even had time to experience life. I'm gonna get these aliens.
You load up level 1, and you are not taking any damage as everything is reflecting off of you. And you manage to actually hit most of the aliens, and they actually do pretty much no damage to the base, and so you make it through wave after wave, and after the 10th and final wave, you are greeted with a mission successful screen, and you see a little achievement icon pop up in the corner of your screen.
Nice.
After that, you are booted back to the main menu.
Can we check the trophy
Can you
cabinet?
check the trophy cabinet?
You go back over to the trophy cabinet, and now the first trophy has a actual cup that is
Hey.
non-holographic. You still can't read the trophy text on it, but the trophy itself has an icon that shows a school paper graded as 100%.
Nice.
How on earth are we going to get a translator?
Well, can we set all of our sound to 0 so we don't make any sound?
Is that how video games work?
No,
It's worth a shot.
But we're testing. We're testing how these people have made their video games work. So can we crank the effects down to 0 as well? So we're the stealthiest guy in the world.
Should we turn voice up a little bit so we can hear the guards if they talk to each other?
Yeah, we'll
So they're
turn
not
voice
gonna
up and then
talk.
we won't talk so they can't hear us. And can we then go into the ant world and maybe with that much stealth, can we steal a translator off the belt of a guard?
This is a lot of steps in one go. Let's just see
Let's just see what happens
if
first
we
of
are
all.
stealthy
Yeah.
enough.
First of all, let's go in with all the sound down and see if we can sneak around and not get caught.
All right, so you mute all of the sound, and then you load up level 2. This time, you are able to navigate fine, and you're able to get close to the guards, and there are no footsteps to be heard. However, around certain corners, you happen to not spot some guards that were talking to each other, and you are quickly spotted and once again executed.
Told
Oh,
you,
no,
we
did
need
we-
the voice.
I thought okay, sorry. Let's crank voice.
Yeah, let's make
I
sure
thought
that
we
voice
had.
is on.
I got confused. Let's put everything down to 0 except for voices, which will crank as loud as it can go.
Oh boy.
Okay, so this time you are able to navigate even further, and you're about to make it around some of the corners, but you carefully hear the voice. You hear the aliens talking to each other, and so you take a few other directions.
Danny, join me.
That's
Have a
rude.
conversation with me.
And
Half of those were me.
And you are able to, after carefully navigating this maze, make it to the end of the maze, and you arrive to a large ominous stone door which slowly opens, and the level ends, and you see another achievement icon pop up in the corner of your screen.
Nice.
Disarming. Okay.
Is our new trophy, if we check our trophy case, is it a different design?
Yeah, so this one, you still can't read the base text, but the trophy has an icon of a large rock with a spy hiding behind it.
Now that we've finished level 2, would you like to go back and explicitly try and steal a translator while we're in stealth mode?
I kind of want to see if we can just kill the queen, get the trophies, and then worry about breaking. But you want to see if we can steal a translator first?
Maybe just quickly try and steal the translator
All
now
right,
that we've finished level 2.
Give it a go. See if you can sneak up behind someone and pickpocket them.
Yeah, just try once quickly, and if they
Okay.
catch us, we'll let
Sure.
it go.
So you try level 2 again, and you're very stealthy. You try and sneak up on a guard, but the moment you touch the guard, they're alerted, and you are captured again and
Makes
executed.
sense.
Did we have a laser gun in that level? Could we shoot the guard?
Oh no.
You do have your laser rifle.
Maybe. Okay, one more try. I want to try and kill a guard.
Okay.
All
Sound
right,
effects are definitely off.
Yeah, sound effects off, kill a guard, steal this translator.
You stealthily hit a guard. However, there are other guards that are viewing that guard's body and very quickly once again, you're captured. They taunt you, and they execute you, and you are back to the main menu.
Okay.
Okay.
Just worth checking. Just
course,
a
of
just a
course.
quick check. They've got something we want. We could kill them and steal it. That's
Alright.
how you live your life.
Okay, do you think that we should do a slow takedown of the queen, completely unbreakably?
Yeah, how do you want to do? Do you want to set ourselves up? Right now, we're set on all attack, no defense. Probably not the best idea because those bombs were
Good point.
barely
good
hurting
point.
us when we had 5 defense. And we could use those bombs to kill the queen, apparently, very slowly.
It was a slow process, but I'm
Maybe we
okay with the
rely
slow
on it?
process.
So we crank our defense back up to 5, let attack be 0, but throw all the grenades back at the queen over and over and over again for like 25 minutes.
That sounds like me.
Sure, you do no attack and max out your defense, and you try level 3. You pick up the grenades, you repeatedly lob them back, slowly grinding the boss's health down, and after over 10 minutes of grinding, the boss finally dies.
Nice.
And then you notice the level timer is still ticking up. However, when the boss dies, the stone door does open.
Oh.
Interesting.
Shall we go through the stone door?
Yeah, let's do it.
We go through the stone door.
Is this a boss rush?
You slowly walk through the stone door, and the moment you pass through that door, then the level ends, and you are greeted with a congratulations screen, and you are booted back to the main menu.
That's interesting.
No
That gives
achievement
us
this time, though.
Yeah.
control over the amount of time that level takes.
Yeah.
So we could like set it to kind of whatever we could wait until the timer hit a certain thing and then jump through.
Maybe.
So we have the capacity to
But it could also be a we need to do it quickly.
or could be we need to do it quickly. But like either way, we have full control based on how quickly we can kill a queen over what that timer should read. Did that get us? Sorry, did that get us a new trophy?
No,
Did we win or
it
no?
didn't get us an achievement.
No new achievement this time. You are back at the main menu. Oddly, when you finish this level, you do hear in the distance the sound of a door clicking open.
Oh,
In our main hub world?
or in the real world.
In the real world, can we take our headset off and see if the door's open?
Sure, you take the headset off, and you notice the exit door is slightly ajar now.
I quickly turn around. Is anyone in the room with us? Right behind me?
You are the only person in the room.
Okay.
All right, I guess.
I guess we're done.
Worth a peek out.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right, so you open the door, and you do a double take. There is no hallway here anymore. It is a solid brick wall. There's not an exit.
Oh no!
Confused, you notice a sheet of paper that was taped to the outside of the door. And here is your next image.
Oh no, Danny. Ooh,
Uh-oh.
okay, so again, for people playing along, you can see these images. This is mostly a reading image. Danny, would you like to start reading? Or describe first, perhaps?
Yeah. This is just very postery. So we've got the title, Project Alien Simulator Status Report. Lead developers for graphics, audio, and touch subsystems.
And there are,
Underneath which we've got 3 pictures of
Yeah.
people.
there are pictures of presumably the graphics, audio, and touch subsystems people. The graphics person is a woman with curly blonde hair, and she's wearing a tie-dye shirt that says groovy.
Makes sense. Second one is a dude wearing headphones, wireless headphones, and it seems that this is a hobby of his because his shirt is a radio brand t-shirt. It's got a little radio-y wave symbol and it says 108.5 FM.
Which is S-Boy, if you turn it upside down.
Ooh, interesting.
Boy. And then the touch subsystems guy is wearing a black t-shirt with 3 yellow hands printed on it, which are in a triangle where the bottom left is paper, the top is rock, and the bottom right is scissors.
Interesting.
But maybe that's just for people. They're
Groovy
on because under them
graphics,
there's a list of
108.5
known
FM.
bugs to fix.
This is Paper Rock Touch Subsystems. Yeah, underneath it says known bugs to fix, and then there's a few dot points. Yeah, quite a few dot points.
Let's swap off. You go first.
All right. Purge obsolete scoring system and associated user profiles. Aw, man. Bill Ellis Hobbs.
Oh no. Enforce proper limits on skill point allocation checks.
Ooh. Decouple visual and audio settings from gameplay logic.
Makes sense. The audio setting was affecting the gameplay logic. When
Yep.
we put the sound to 0, the enemies couldn't hear us.
True.
Remove developer cheat code that installs subsystem crash recovery tools.
Ah,
We needed
okay.
those, right?
Yeah, we did. Fix crashes reported by users Home Medic 1, Null Taunt 2, and Rocket Jumper 3. Rocket Jumper!
Oh, they're fun. They're fun things. Home Medic, we can maybe shoot the building to
Heal
replenish
it?
its health.
Interesting.
Right? Home Medic 1, we might be able to Null Taunt as a crash. I wonder, Null Taunt.
We know that they say something to us before they kill us.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
And then Rocket Jumper 3, we did that already. I mentioned doing a
I
TF2 style
know.
rocket jump. Add missing collision checks on several stone objects.
We noticed that.
Did we? What was that?
I assume that's
Oh,
like the stalagmites, stalactites, that sort of thing.
Stalactites. I wonder if we can hide in one.
Ooh. Improve robustness while changing languages. I wish.
And optimize performance when displaying large outdoor crowds.
Yes, we have noticed that too.
Okay.
All right. So, assuming that these are all still problems and we're not here to fix, we're here to break. Oh, you've got.
I know how to do Home Medic 1.
Okay.
Can we go back into level... I'm going to do Home Medic. You ready?
Yeah,
I'm going to crash the game with Home Medic. Can we go back to level 1? Before we jump into the level, I go to our hub screen, and I would like to set my attack to negative whatever I can.
Oh, it did say that there were...
I would like to go under 0. I'd like to go to negative whatever it'll let me. In fact, put me at negative 1,000,000 and put my defense at 1,000,000. 1,000,001. 1,000,002. Put my defense at 1,000,002 and put my attack at negative 1,000,000.
It did say there weren't limitations, didn't it? One of the bugs.
They said it was, enforce proper limits on skill point allocation checks.
Okay.
Can I set it to negative attack?
Yeah, so you crank the attack to as low as it goes. It
Which
seems
is
to only
negative
do
1,000,000.
single digits, but you go level
Okay, negative
negative
9.
9.
So we've got a Gandhi problem in this one.
Yeah. It goes back around to...
Like he starts at 0 anger or whatever, but if you put people's anger down, he would loop back to maximum anger.
Exactly. But this way, we're going to have negative attack so we can heal when we shoot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to jump into the world, and all I'm going to do is turn around and just fire my laser at our own base to keep its health at 100 and get as many enemies on screen as possible.
All right, so you load up level 1 with a large healing ray, and this time you start firing as much as you can at your home base. The base, instead of having particle effects of damage, it is getting little healing particle effects.
Nice.
And with your red armor, you are not taking any damage, and you very quickly are able to keep up with the damage that is being done to the base. Each wave progressively spawns, and when the 10th and final wave spawns, the game is now at a slideshow speed.
Nice.
And as the enemies approach on screen, the game just completely freezes, and an error message pops up saying, graphics subsystem error, draw a buffer out of memory, dumping system state to autosave file. However, then another message says, debugging is only allowed when a subsystem-specific crash recovery tool is installed and a valid hardware debugger is connected. The headset reboots to the main menu.
Okay,
we
so
need
we've got
to
to
deal
solve
with this
that
part.
problem first. Before we start to solve these individual crashes, there's a developer cheat code that installs a subsystem crash recovery tool. And also the physical hardware we would need to collect.
Yeah. Can we take a look at our physical hardware again? We've got an image for it.
Oh, you mean the headset?
Yeah. Just in case there's anything
Oh, yeah,
else. Because there is
system debugger.
yeah,
Okay, you're right.
but I don't know what to do with that.
Well, that would be where we have to connect our little cables, I would assume. Put a black and a white cable on simulation debugger and connect it to this board next to it.
Oh boy.
But I don't know where to connect it, and I'm not really sure how to know.
Yeah, the hardware scares me. Back to the status poster. How are their shirts going to help us? Because they're clearly intentional.
Oh, you know what?
Groovy Radios' paper
These are the developers, right?
Yeah.
Developer cheat code that install subsystem crash recovery tools.
Okay.
We have our hands.
Yeah.
We could make a paper and a scissors and a rock.
I guess.
And then it's groovy 108.5 FM. Do we have an in-world radio or something?
We had the...
Does the sound system also act as an actual radio system?
It appears to only just have those 3 volume sliders.
We could set them to 10, 8, and 5.
You set the music to 10, the voices to 8, and sound effects to 5. And when you do that, you hear the headset speakers pop static for a second, and a message flashes on screen.
Nice
Crash
work, Dennis.
recovery tool now installed in audio system.
Ooh.
Ah, okay.
Right. We haven't yet made an audio crash happen, though.
But that is true. But if we crash the second level, that's very audio focused.
It
right?
is. But we haven't done that.
No.
For that
What happens? Okay, so that was like his code, right? 1085.
Yep, cool.
Where could we implement a scissor paper rock
Yeah, that's interesting.
code?
There are lots of rocks.
Missing collision checks on several stone objects. That was the stalagmites, probably.
Could be more.
The 1085 is really good for audio, but it makes me think that we need one for visual. Which I suppose our current our level 1 is the visual one, right? Because we're dealing with color.
Very colourful.
So it's groovy.
How many colours can we make?
No, we don't need to. Can we go to our avatar in the mirror, and can we set our color to green, then to red, then to orange, then to violet, then to yellow to spell out groovy?
When you select that final yellow color, the screen flickers for a second and a message pops up. Crash recovery tool now installed for graphics subsystem.
That was very clever.
Puzzles.
Oh.
Everybody loves puzzles.
Okay, now here's the thing. That is good. That is, the visual one. We could go back into level 1 and see if we can mess with that. Or should we try to figure out this third t-shirt?
Here's my concept for the third t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Can I, with my glove, which currently has all 5 fingers activated, can I then take all the batteries out and then just put the batteries in for my pointer and middle finger, or something, like, to try and make it like all fingers activated, no fingers activated, 2 fingers activated, to simulate what he has on his shirt?
Interesting.
I don't know if that will do it, but that's my first thought.
The moment that you take any of the batteries out, the game just switches back to the screen that it doesn't detect the gloves.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one. That was just a starting to mess around with it. How do we mess with these? Like, we know what the visual setting was, right? Like, it was changing the color of our avatar. We knew what the sound setting was. It was changing the levels of the audio. Have we got anywhere where we can input touch settings? Is there anything that we don't know what's going on with it? Scoreboard isn't touch-based. What was on the shelf? There were 2 things on the shelf.
That was the sound effects and the globe.
A globe with a pin in China. We haven't messed with the globe at all. Oh, that's the language settings.
Oh. Can we take the pin out? Can we just take the pin out?
Can we take the pin out and put it into English?
Yeah, so you pick up the pin and the base text on the globe disappears, and wherever you are holding the pin, that country starts to highlight. Where would you like to put it?
Let's put it into...
Okay, well, one of the bugs is improve robustness while changing languages, so maybe we should rapidly throw it in a few different places.
Okay, before we set it to a language that we want, let's try and mess with the system. Let's mess with our robustness, and let's put it into like England, then France, then Germany, then Poland, then Morocco, then
Iran,
Angola, and Iran, and then maybe a bit of Qatar. Maybe let's flip around a bit.
When we're tired of it, we'll go to England.
Yeah, just to see if anything happens while changing languages.
Sure, you pick it up, and each time you pick it up, the text disappears, and the moment you release it, it snaps to the middle of the closest country, and you see the text at the bottom change to the primary language of that country, and it just repeats for that list of countries that you just did, ending in language English.
Sure. Just to see, I don't think it broke anything as we were doing it.
We don't know that.
We don't know. Now that it's in English, let's start looking at some stuff.
Okay, should we look at our trophies?
Yeah, let's check out our trophies now that we've changed the language to English.
Sure, the trophies, now that you can read them, the first trophy says finish level 1 with full health. The second trophy says finish level 2 without being detected. And the third trophy says finish level 3 in under a minute.
Yep.
I have a pitch for finishing level 3 in under a minute.
Mm-hmm.
We set our defense to like negative defense.
Mhm.
Like, oh my gosh, so little defense. The tiniest scratch will kill us.
Yeah.
We set our attack to really high. We run in and we hide inside. We walk straight into a stalagmite. We hide our body inside the stalagmite. And from there, see if that keeps us safe from her attacks and shoot her
Worth a
from
shot.
inside the stalagmite. Can we try that?
Are the stalagmites fat enough to
Are they
conceal
big enough
us?
that we could hide in a stalagmite?
You are able to hide within them, and you do seem to be getting hit quite a bit less. However, each time you throw the grenade, you are a lot more accurate, so it doesn't take nearly as many attempts. And instead of the 11 minutes that it was last time, it took 6 minutes this time.
Do we have we can't fire our laser gun to hurt the queen faster than the grenades?
You fire your laser gun at her, and it seems to only stun her briefly. It's not doing any damage to her.
Okay, so it's all grenade focused. Even with our attack higher, does it look like the grenades do more damage, or they do grenade amount of damage?
The damage of the grenade seems to be not impacted.
Okay, that's interesting. So how does one... Obviously, we tried again and we got a little bit faster, but I don't think that's going to get us under a minute.
No.
How could we get more grenades throwing?
I think we got to figure out this scissors, paper, rock business.
Maybe that will probably just unlock the debug menu. It won't like the other ones we solved by using the system and then we messed with the system. So
true.
But you're right. Maybe if we find where we can mess with a touch system, we can then find how to input scissors, paper, rock stuff. Like, how do we improve our throwing of grenade accuracy and speed?
How much do you reckon it's literal scissors, paper, rock and just that there is something that has scissors, paper, rock style effect to it? Like 3 things that
there might be that
affect
too.
each other in different ways. Worth keeping a lookout.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Do you think that it is worth going back to level 1 now that we may have the debug menu active? And
perhaps, but it does say you need the debug menu activated and the physical hardware. And we haven't done that physical hardware part because we still, I think we know what it is. I think it's that connecting the black and white thingies to this simulated debugger, but I don't know what to connect them to.
Can you look at the symbols on the walls again?
Oh, you're right. We never used those walls.
Because they are black and white.
They are black and white.
I don't know quite what to do with that, but...
No, I still don't know what to do with these guys. These are the ones for people playing along at home. The symbols on the physical walls of the room that we are in. We're just having a look at them again, but I don't really see if they mean anything.
Look, do any of them fit together in any way?
The symbols on the walls?
Yeah, I don't know what we would do with them anyway.
No.
But...
do we recognize... They don't seem like anything we could recognize right now. Maybe these will help when we get to a debug menu. Maybe these will help us with the debug.
Maybe.
I don't see how they're relevant right now. We still need to... What are the big things to me that we need to do? We need to crack this scissor, paper, rock code. We need to win level 3. And we need to attach the physical system on the front of our...
Yeah, there are so many things
headset
with this. Like purge obsolete scoring system. We certainly haven't done that.
Well, we don't necessarily need to do that, but take advantage of it. Well, that scoring system was
relevant
Bill
in
Ellis
some way.
Hobbs.
Yes.
Bill Ellis Hobbs. I don't know what to do about... You're right, I don't know what to do about that.
Maybe we just need a profile name at some point. And we'll need to input the name. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah. So there's something there.
You've
That's I think that's really to point us.
What have
to
we
that
taken
stuff.
advantage of?
Yeah.
We have taken advantage of limits on skill points.
Enforcing proper limits. We've dealt with that. Decouple visual audio settings from gameplay
somewhat,
logic.
Yeah.
We've messed with those to win the games.
Like the colors having impact on things and the sound settings impacting on things.
Remove developer cheat codes that install subsystem crash recovery tools.
We've dealt with 2 out of 3 of
We've
those.
done 2 out of 3. Fix crashes reported by users. Home medic crashed. Null taunt not crashed. Rocket jumper crashed.
Yeah, maybe we need to focus on this. Figure out null taunt. Maybe we should go in. We've set the language to English now. Maybe we can learn something just by listening to voices in
That's
level 2.
a good point. That did have voices in it. Can we go into level I was giving them alien voices.
Mm-hmm.
But if they had Chinese voices, then I'm retroactively racist.
Oh, yeah.
But I was giving them alien voices. Can we go and see if they're now speaking English and I'm a terrible person?
So you load up level 2 and you stealthily make your way to some guards. You alert them. They come running at you. They are grunting in some sort of alien language
I'm the
into a
best.
universal translator. And that translator is emitting a language that now you can understand in English. The alien
Please don't
says,
run.
"Hey,
We love you. We're just trying to teleport you to a world of wonder.
Uh-huh.
We've misunderstood creatures.
they actually say that, thought you could sneak past us that easily, huh? Time for you to die." You reflect on the subpar voice acting, but the alien still hits the electrify button and game over again.
Null taunt.
Okay, well, no, wait. We still got caught when we turned the voice off to nothing, didn't we?
We got caught and we still died and we still got sent back. So it's not like turning their voice to nothing negates their capacity to kill us. Because we had the voice set to 0 and
Yeah.
it just meant we couldn't hear them when they said stuff to us and killed us.
But null taunt.
Null taunt.
Something's going on there.
Or is null taunt talking about us not making any sound so we could get through? I don't think so.
No.
Because that's different. Like rocket jump isn't how you win, it's how you break it. Medic isn't how you win, it's how you break it. So null taunt wouldn't be how we won, it would be how we break it. How does null taunt help us as a hint to break this game?
What happens if we go back to the globe and just pull the pin out and drop it on the floor?
Oh, interesting. They have no language.
You pull the pin out, and the moment that you release the pin, it snaps into position of the closest country.
Yeah, makes sense.
Is there a country
With no,
with no
language.
Can we set it to Antarctica and turn them into little penguin people?
Similarly, when you release it, it snaps into the closest valid country.
All right.
Oh, there's got to be some amazing trick country here.
What's a country that has no language? Null taunt. And yeah, what is up with the robustness of language change? It apparently has a low robustness when changing languages. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so every time you pick up the pin, the language blanks out, and then the moment you release the pin, it
let's not release
snaps
the
into
pin.
position.
Oh, okay, so instead of dropping it on
Instead
the
of
ground,
dropping
just
it somewhere
grab
random,
it and
let's
hold
just pick it up, hold it, and then go into the alien world and see what happens.
How far away can we get?
Okay, so you pick up the pin, and you keep holding it. Which level would you like to enter?
Level 2, please.
Let's try level 2.
Okay. So you go into level 2. It's a little odd in that instead of the word loading, you see just a giant word of null. But now the level loads, and you are free to
Walk
sneak
straight
around.
into a guard.
We walk right up to a guard and we say, "Hey, catch me, freak!"
The guard comes as the various alerts sound, and he starts grunting into the universal translator, and out of the other translator, suddenly the game freezes with the last half second of audio looping endlessly.
No.
No. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then an error message displays audio subsystem error, localized audio file not found, dumping system state to autosave file. But then, once again, you are greeted with the message, debugging is only allowed when the subsystem-specific crash recovery tool is installed and a valid hardware debugger is connected. The headset reboots to the main menu.
Where is this hardware
How do
debugger?
we make hardware? I hate hardware so much.
We've now cracked the breaking of every game.
Cool.
We've installed 2 of the subsystem-specific crash recovery tools. We have not done the 3rd one.
No. Damn you, scissors, paper,
So we don't know
rock.
what scissor, paper, rock means. And we don't know how to physically attach this. Or rather, we know how to physically attach. We don't know what to physically attach.
Lassie, just to make sure, I drew a little picture of this and I don't know how fair it was. Back to the teleporter. Did you say there was a button for like importing a save from somewhere?
There was.
There was, yes.
I, again, don't know much about this. I don't have... I choose not to import games very often. I just start again.
Sure.
But can we press that and see what it
Let's see what pops up.
asks for?
Sure, you press the import button, and it prompts you for the 3 initials, A through Z, of another profile.
Oh, we know what those are.
Maybe want to try Bill Ellis Hobbs, BEH?
Beh.
Give it a shot.
You enter BEH, and after a second, you see a new save file that has been added to the list.
Okay.
Okay. Can we load
Here
that up?
is
Oh, no.
another image coming your way.
Ooh.
So this has a thumbnail. It is called chess.save.
This is just a totally different game. Oh, no. Okay, this is a picture of a chessboard.
This is a picture of a chessboard.
And it's a chess puzzle.
It is a chess puzzle. It's chess.save. We have 1 to 8, A to H, and it
Pieces
is
in various
chess
positions.
game.
You might have to look at this one.
Yeah, for people at home, if you can look, it's hard to describe to you what the chess game looks like, other than white is mostly at the bottom, black is mostly at the top.
Both of them have 11 pieces left.
And it says, Bill's turn, checkmate in 1 move.
All right. For whatever reason, I don't know what part of the brain is activated in this. I'm not very good at these checkmate chess puzzles.
Fair.
I'm not sure what's different. So just to be clear, the kings, are they the ones in H2 and G8?
Yes, the kings are
to
in G8 and they are in H2.
All
Now,
right.
My first thought is, what happens if you move that castle that is in H6?
Are you white or are
I'm
you
white.
black?
Let's assume I'm white.
Okay.
I wanted to move my castle. What happens if I move my castle all the way up so it's right next to the king? Obviously, the black king goes into check because the castle could kill it.
Sure, but it can just take you.
But if it takes the castle, look down the bottom left, please, at my beautiful, beautiful bishop. The white
there
bishop
is a bishop down
that would
there.
be able to take the king, so he can't take the castle. If he moves up,
There is no up.
he's still in bishop range. Sorry, not up. If he moves down, he's still in bishop range. If he moves down and right, he's still in castle range. Is there any way that they could take that castle? Their knights can't do it. Their pawns can't do it. Their castle can't do it. I think moving that castle up to the top right corner is checkmate if I am playing as white.
Worth a shot?
I don't know. Can I try and do that?
Are we able to interact with this?
You tap on the screen, and it just says incompatible save file.
Okay, so really we're just meant to know castle H8. So we know that he hates castles.
Okay.
Castle hate. I mean, that's
Interesting.
the move, I think.
Challenging. Why do we want chess unless chess is black and white as well?
Chess is black and white. What else is black and white?
We've got black and white cables. We've got black and white pictures on the walls. We have a lot of black and white stuff.
We do. Hold on, wait. This is an 8x8 board.
Yeah.
On our headset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is an 8x8
Oh
board.
my god.
So what does that mean for
Do we
us?
want to take the white cable and connect H6 and H8?
Sure. Let's do that. And maybe there is a black checkmate in 1 move.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Shut up, everybody.
That's fun.
Shut up.
All right. What do we got?
Okay, so we know that for white to make their checkmate in 1 move, it is H6 to H8. Can we take the white cable and put one end in the top right of our headset board and the other end of that white cable 2
Spaces
below that?
You connect the white wire between those 2 spots, and you see one of the 2 LEDs on that debugger chip turn on.
Okay, good. Oh, God. I was going to say good catch too, but I think we just did this very much together.
Okay.
Now, how does black
You do the
get a
actual
checkmate
chess
in
part.
1 move?
I am not terrible at chess. I'm not like competitive at chess in any way. I am there's a chessboard at a party. I might be able to win that random chess game. That's my level of chess.
Now, the question is, what can I really move when I'm a
the
black
horsies
piece,
are
right?
really what does it.
The only way to threaten the king that I can see is to move the horse. No, I'm a fool. I'm a fool. We had it first. If we move the horse that's in G5,
Yeah.
the knight.
F3?
If we move it to F3,
Uh-huh.
the king is threatened where it is.
Yeah. Oh, it moves down. Your horse is still
yeah,
there.
I thought if it moved down, the horse couldn't get. But no, if it moves
You're right,
down and left, the horse
that
still
same
gets it.
horse could move again.
Yeah, I just completely misread it because I was assuming it wasn't going to be true. But
I
now that I
already
assume it could
forgot
be true,
that we'd moved the horse.
Yeah, so if I move my knight from G5 to G3, if I'm black, it threatens the king where it is. If it moves down and left, it still threatens the same king. And if it moves only left, it's threatened by the other knight. No, neither of my knights can be taken, and we're all living in a happy, happy world. So
All
can
right.
I take the black cable? Can I put one end at the equivalent of G5 and the other end at the equivalent of F3?
You connect the black cable, and the second LED turns on.
Ho, ho, ho! How hard is it to find a chess orientation in which both sides have checkmate in one move?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in the post-show, I'm sure.
All right. We've got some hardware possibly worked
We
out.
can debug stuff. How do we do the queen, and how do we do the symbol? How do we put in?
Forget
rock, paper,
level
scissors?
3. It's gone.
Okay, let's ignore level 3. Let's do level 1 and 2.
Okay.
Okay, we go to level 1. We have already groovied, so we've installed our system. We go into the world with our negative damage. We we heal our home.
Wearing red armor.
Wearing red
'cause
armor.
We were currently in
We
yellow,
try
I
and get the
believe.
game to crash.
All right, so you crash level 1 again, and this time you are greeted with the same crash error, but then after it dumps the state to an autosave file, it then shows a message launching debug recovery tool.
All right.
The headset now displays a message saying debug recovery session active on graphics subsystem. Snap your fingers to exit the debugger. The display then changes to a photorealistic rendering of a ceiling similar in size to the game studio room. There's a grid of ceiling lights that slowly flicker through a looping set of patterns with a short pause after each loop. And here is
Oh no,
your
Danny.
next image.
These are going to be the symbols on the walls. Lights.png. Oh, thank you so much for making this a static image and not actually flicking
was really
between
worried
them.
it was
I
gonna
thought
be
you were
a
going to link
GIF.
us to a GIF, and I was very scared.
I'm very bad at them.
Okay,
Okay.
so the first one is like 3 lights on the left going to 1 light to 2 to 1 in a little it's like a little claw on a stick. The next one is like a letter A, but with the
Couple of bits in
a couple of bits in
column
the
2
second
missing.
column missing.
Next one is a person sitting on a toilet.
The next one is a person sitting on a toilet, and the last one is
Oh.
it's a
It's a bunny with one
Yeah.
ear longer
yeah,
than
it's a
the
bunny
other.
with one ear longer than the other. I was going to say it's a kangaroo with one ear longer than the other. But I think we can find these symbols. It doesn't matter what they look
And
like.
do what with them?
Check them, touch them,
Check them.
and touch them. Hold on. It starts with, where's the first of these symbols?
Yeah, it could also be that we're not looking for matches, that we're looking for inverses. Not impossible.
True.
Not
true.
necessarily, but keep in mind.
It's almost the symbol next to the door, but not quite. No, I see the second symbol. There's the A with the bits missing.
You're right. That is an A with bits missing.
So the second symbol I can find, it is on the west wall.
Oh, is that the person sitting on a toilet?
That's person sitting on a toilet on the east wall. Bunny with one ear that's a bit too long is on the door itself.
Ah,
And the final one
that one?
is there. Yes, it's on the north wall.
Okay, now what do we do with this? Like, you seem like you want to take the headset off and just feel things.
I want to just like touch them in that
But-
order. I don't know if that'll do anything in the
I'm not
physical world.
convinced, but okay.
Can I check can I touch these symbols in that order in the physical world? Can I touch the bottom left of the north wall, then the top left of the west wall, then the bottom right of the east wall, and then the center of the
And it does loop again, so
South
I
wall.
assume you have to go back and do it all over again.
Yeah, can I just start
Little
touching them
loop.
in that order?
So you try and take off the headset to wander over to the walls, and you're kind of startled. You take the headset off, and you are still seeing this image in front of you. And you
Oh,
notice
yeah.
it actually extends to the peripheral vision around you. You kind of look down, and you notice what looks like Is that a body with, like, from their perspective, slowly breathing, wearing a jumpsuit connected to a bunch of wires and tubes? There's a restraint across what this person's chest that's secured by a 4-digit combination lock next to a release button.
Wait, are
That
we?
got weird.
Wait, is that our body? Is that us? Are we? Wait, what? So it took my headset off, but I can still see the virtual world, as well as the physical
Yeah.
world.
You still see what this debug recovery session was showing in the headset, despite not wearing the headset.
Oh, but I'm also, and is it the same room that I was in before, with the walls all covered in QR codes?
You are only seeing just this view looking up at this other ceiling.
Well, we could just snap our fingers. That's what it told us to get out of this.
I'm scared. Hold on, hold on. When I had the headset on, I just saw like a ceiling with these lights.
Yep.
When I take my headset off, I still see that ceiling, but I now see a weird body that below me.
You just didn't notice it before.
Okay,
it
so that's
was
just
in
part
your
of the
peripheral
debug
vision.
menu.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this. I'm stuck in a world of debug, seeing a body with a 4-digit code. We have 4 symbols.
Yeah.
Can we turn these into 4 digits?
I wonder how.
And they sort of have a placement on a wall.
They do, but I don't know much about associating them with numbers either.
Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna snap my fingers and get out of here. It's
Okay.
freaking me out. I
Okay.
snap my fingers.
You snap your fingers and your vision returns to normal instantaneously. You find yourself back in the physical room you were before, holding the headset.
Oh, I hate this.
Okay, should we try glitching ourselves out in level 2 and seeing what happens in that way?
Well, why don't we first just quickly, now that we're back in the real world, can we
now try to
interact
take
with
off the
those symbols
headset
that we
off.
saw in the debug menu?
Sure, you touch each of the symbols that you mentioned before, and nothing seems to be special about them. They
Yeah.
just are these
Okay.
pieces of paper taped to the walls.
All right. Ugh, I don't want to go back to the debug world. Let's put our headset back on. And as you said, let's debug.
Try level 2 to
Yeah.
see if it takes us to the same one or
a
something
one.
different.
Yeah.
with
So we'll
further
do the same
information,
thing. We null out the language. We jump into level 2. We get caught. We try and crash it.
All right, you crash level 2 in the same way that you did before, and it gives the same error. And after a moment, it starts to launch another debug recovery session. This time, the headset displays the message, debugging session active for audio subsystem. Snap your fingers to exit the debugger. That's only the message that you see on the screen. However, the ambience of the room shifts to a very loud humming machine, startling you. In the distance, you hear what sounds like the faint, methodical beeping of a heart monitor. You kind of wander around the room a little bit, and you notice that it changes in pattern depending on where you are.
Interesting.
Can we go to where it's the loudest? Can we try and like use it as a radar, whatever
Is it
system?
like a homing beacon sort of
to
thing?
Get, like a we're using a metal detector. Beep 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 beep.
You wander around, and it seems like the machine just stays loud until you touch a wall. At that point, the machine becomes quiet, and you can hear a very distinct number of beeps.
Oh, okay. I think we're collecting information about each of these
I think
things.
we combine these
So
things.
we know which symbol is relevant for each wall. So I'm going to make a little table for myself.
Sure.
I'm going to say in order, the symbols that we saw before were east. Sorry, north was the first symbol. I apologize. And then it was
Northwest,
west,
east, south in the orientation that we gave
top
them,
left.
with door being south.
Then if I touch the north wall, what beeping do I hear?
It depends on where on the north wall you
The
are touching.
bottom left of the north wall.
At that spot on the wall, you hear a sequence of 9 beeps.
Love it.
Nice. Now can I check the top left of the west wall?
On that spot of the wall, you hear a sequence of 3 beeps.
Now can I check the bottom right of the east wall?
That spot has a sequence of 7 beeps.
And the center of the south wall where the door is.
That has a beeping pattern of 5.
So now we have like a 4-digit code.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm assuming if I look around in this space, I can't see anything, can I?
All you see is the message being displayed on the headset
Cool.
that you are debugging and how to exit.
If we went back to the first debug thing, I'm assuming we probably can't touch, we can't put in the code. Like we might go right through it. I'm not sure, but we can quickly check. Can we, health, red, laser, shoot, fire, get back into the first debug menu for the visuals?
You snap your fingers to exit the audio debugging, and you set back up to crash the graphics subsystem, and it's the same as before. This time you try and reach out to interact with this combination lock, but it doesn't feel like there's anything there, and the body that you are viewing from, you don't see their hands moving either.
Cool.
Fair.
Okay, so we need to get the touch
We really do.
subsystem working. So we've cracked every code except how to kill a queen fast and how to input the code that debugs killing a queen fast.
Yeah.
So it feels like the limiting factor was like speed and accuracy of throwing grenades back. Is that a fair assumption, Matt?
Yeah, I think you need to figure out a way to very quickly end the level.
Okay. How would one very quickly end a level?
Die really fast. That would end the level.
No, we gotta win. We gotta. Oh no! It was the door, right? The timer didn't go off till we went through the door. Is the door one of the many stone surfaces which does not interact with things? Can we just load up the level and walk through the door and leave?
You load up level 3, and as the boss is jumping around, you just make a beeline for the door. You walk through it without any issues, and the end of level triggers prematurely. You had 21 seconds on the clock, and so
Nice.
achievement pops up, and you have completed the final achievement.
Okay.
Intriguing.
Does that help? We've done all 3 achievements. We have 3 trophies.
Wait.
One of them's paper.
Yes. One of them was a rock.
One of them was a rock. What is the symbol on this new trophy?
This third trophy shows a pair of scissors cutting a clock in half.
Interesting.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
What does this mean? What do we do? Like, these trophies interactable? Can we touch trophies?
Yeah, can we touch trophies?
You put your hand next to the trophies, and you feel your hands kind of vibrate.
Ooh, can I put my hand in the paper one in a paper shape, and then put my hand in the rock one in a rock shape, and then put my hand in the scissors one in a scissor shape?
You do that for each of them, and the text on the bottom of each trophy changes to "It's a draw."
Can I put my hand in the paper one in a scissor shape?
That one changes to "You win."
Can I put et cetera, et cetera? Can I put my hand in the rock in a paper shape, and then put my hand in the scissors in a rock shape? Woo-hoo.
Those also change to "You win," and you feel your hands vibrate a strange pattern, and a message pops up on screen. Crash recovery tool now installed in touch subsystem.
Okay.
Oh, we've done it. Okay, so we know how to crash that game as well,
Yeah,
right?
because that was rocket jumping.
So let's do it.
We did that right at the start just for fun.
We head back into the thing, maybe with our defense higher than negative
Yeah.
9 or whatever it was at. Let's put it back up to 5. Let's be safe here.
And rocket jump through the ceiling.
Rocket jump through the ceiling.
You rocket jump out of the level, and the game crashes as before, and then it launches this debug recovery session. This time, the headset displays the message "Debugging recovery session active on touch subsystem. Snap your fingers to exit the debugger." This one is a little different from the others. Your hands, head, and body feel different, colder with a tingling sensation. Suddenly you feel nauseous, like gravity shifts around you as if you're suddenly lying down. Your hands feel free of the gloves, and your head feels like it's no longer wearing the headset, but is instead resting on some warm foam. You feel around, and you discover that you feel to be strapped down to a table, wearing a rubbery jumpsuit. There are different cables and tubes connected to you. You feel around, and you feel that there's some sort of metal restraint across your chest. You can just barely make out that there seems to be some sort of combinational lock with a release button there, but you can't see any numbers.
But I don't necessarily need to. I know what to set it to, but I can't see the numbers. So maybe I have to go back to the visual world peer at it to see what they're currently set to. So then I know how many times to change them to make them say 9375.
Maybe.
Like if they're all set to 0, change them as 1. But like I should get the info from the visuals stack.
Okay.
So in the visual world, what are the numbers currently set to on the dial?
They are all just currently set to all zeros.
And do I see which way to turn it to get to a 9 or a 1? Like
You can see just the little bit of the adjacent numbers, so you understand which way to turn to increment or
Right.
decrement.
beautiful. I go. And now we're back. We're back in the touch subsystem debug, and I'd like to reach and touch my chest, and I'd like to set my top tumbler across to 9 by moving it 1 space.
Assuming we can
The other
reach
one
and
to
make
3,
this happen.
tick, tick, tick. The other one to 7, tick, 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 but the other way, and the other one to 5, tick, 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 tick. Does that work?
You enter each of those and press the release button. The screen flashes, you hear a long beep, and you feel pressure releasing as you feel the restraint that was holding you down be released. You open your eyes to the flashing ceiling lights that you saw before. You're wearing the jumpsuit you felt. And there's a loud hum of a machine behind you with a heart monitor that's now beeping erratically. You stand up, pushing aside the detached restraints. The machine quiets down, and the heart monitor flatlines as various cables and tubes detach from the jumpsuit. It feels like you're dreaming. No, at second thought, it feels like you just woke up from a very long dream. Exhausted with a massive migraine, you survey this new room. Besides a futuristic machine that you were hooked up to, there's a force field on the door and a discarded military uniform in the corner. It reminds you of a prison cell.
Oh no. Okay. I thought we were done. I thought this was the outro. All right. Here we go. I've got. There's a force field. There's a uniform, and there's a big machine that we were just strapped to.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, Danny?
Check out the machine. Make sure that just walking away, we're not going to kill anything.
Sure. Let's have a look at this machine.
You look at the machine, it is clearly alien technology. There are now tubes that seep various fluids on the floor.
Ugh.
Thankfully, you check yourself over and your body isn't leaking. The headrest is soft except for a tiny slot where your neck was connected.
Ugh.
All right. Can we check the uniform?
You check the uniform. It is a military-grade jumpsuit with circuitry woven into it. It's about your size. It seems oddly familiar.
I check the pockets.
You check the various pockets and do not find anything on it.
Do you want to put this on? It does have circuitry connected, but maybe we should just put it on anyway.
It feels worth a try.
Let's wear our suit.
You put on the uniform, it fits perfectly. Suddenly, an AI voice from the wrist startles you. BioID confirmed. Incoming transmission.
Nice. My
A
bio.
voice you recognize from the game studio exclaims, "Oh, good. By the vital signs I'm monitoring, you either escaped the simulation or died. If you're dead, my most sincere apologies, but on the off chance you're not dead, you're probably pretty confused. I'll explain everything in a few minutes. Guards will be coming soon, so we better act quickly and finish the mission. The microchip is still hopefully hidden in the left knee of your uniform. Make sure to insert it into the..." Suddenly the transmission drops and you hear footsteps rapidly approaching.
I turn my sound down. I turn my ambient sound down. I quickly reach into my knee.
You reach for the knee, you find a tiny bump in the fabric. You carefully pull at the seam to reveal a hidden pocket that contains a tiny microchip, no bigger than a grain of rice.
Okay. We need to put it somewhere.
Mm.
Currently, my bet is on my neck hole
Ugh.
on the chair. Not my own neck
Oh,
hole, the
okay.
chair's neck hole. But why don't we quickly look at the force field before the...
Sure.
Unless it's like, insert microchip to stop guards approaching. Because I could do that.
Yeah, let's take a look.
You look at the force field, you see no way to disable it from inside your cell. Outside the hall, you see similar cells with other comatose patients hooked up to machines similar to yours.
Okay, I have a
They-
microchip.
They got themselves into this. They can get
It's on
themselves
my
out.
knee. Yeah, they're not ready to get unplugged yet. I've seen the Matrix. You just got to leave. Where do you want to put this chip? Can we? Does it possibly go into that thing that was in the machine where it had like a divot that connected to our neck? Can I put my microchip in there?
The chip fits perfectly.
Ooh.
Nice.
You hear confused voices as nearby cells wake up from the simulation.
Oh.
And seconds later, the machine starts billowing smoke and sparks. The cell's force field deactivates as an angry bug-like alien charges in, aiming a ray gun at you. You panic as a flash of light erupts around you. Moments later, you're in a military bunker with the game developers wearing lab coats flanked by military personnel. The lead game developer greets you. Great work, General Braddock. Oh, right, the amnesia. I'm Dr. Hans. This might come as a shock, but the life you thought you once knew was only a simulation. Back in 2099, aliens conquered the Earth, and since then they've been capturing people and siphoning energy from their minds using that simulation. Last month, we took the risk to let you get captured to smuggle a virus into the Central Alien Control Facility. Based on intel of agents we've lost, we had hoped that you could connect the chip prior to getting hooked up to the system, but something must have gone wrong, forcing us to improvise. Using a reprogrammed terminal, we tracked down your new identity in the simulation and injected the game you played to induce faults into the system that wouldn't be easily detected, but would allow your mind to break free. Sorry for the deception. We couldn't interfere more directly without jeopardizing your safety or the mission. Once freed, your physical access granted us full control of the mainframe, allowing us to halt the simulation for good and free the other captives. And once awake, we could safely teleport all of you back to base. It might take some time for your memory to return. That simulation probably messed with you pretty badly. In the meantime, grab a bite to eat, get some rest, and we'll debrief more tomorrow. Welcome back to the Rebellion, General. You won.
I don't trust anything anymore.
I grab him by the collar and I say, "Are you a simulation? Are you a simulation?" I shake him as hard as I can. Tell me!
First thing I do as I get back on active duty is I try to do a rocket jump through a ceiling. It goes
Doesn't
terribly
go
wrong.
no.
This is trauma.
Thank you for listening to Escape This Podcast. Don't forget to tune in next week for Podcast This Escape, where we debrief with our guest and discuss the escape room that we just escaped from.